All right. In today's masterclass, we're going to discuss on how you can bring positive changes in your life. What are those small things that you can do no matter what you're going through right now? Even if you're into depression, loneliness, sadness, guilt, you're struggling in your business, you're struggling in your career, just by making these small changes, you can do a great impact in your life when it comes to your career, business, money, whatever that is. All right. So if you're excited for today's masterclass, send me the word yes or excited in the chat box. Please have a pen and a book so that you make some notes and so that you apply this in your life. All right? Great. So how to bring positive change in your life? How to bring positive change in your life? So there's a system which is very simple, very powerful, which I've shared many times in the community also. And I keep sharing this in my workshops and stuff. But today I'm going to elaborate on the system. The system is very simple. The universe always follows a three-step process. Everything in the universe has a three-step process, right? As a three-step process. Everything follows this. What is this? There's an input for everything. There's a process for everything. And there's an output for everything. And this output feeds again the input, right? And then it's like a loop. Right? But it all starts with the input. A very common example which I always give is a plant, right? You put a seed, you put water, you put fertilizers, then there's a process and then there's an output, right? The plant will only come only if the input is right. If you put too much, water is also not good. Too little less water is also not good. Too much water is also not good, right? So you need to have the right amount of input and the process will automatically happen by itself and the output. Same thing, a car. Right? You put petrol, there's an input. The process is you run the car, the system, the engine works, right? And then because of that, the output is you move further. Same, a laptop, right? You put an input, then there's a process, an application, and then there's an output. Same thing like a printer, right? You put an input, there's a process, there's an output. So everything in universe follows this system, a three-step system. So once you understand the system, it becomes very easy. And because of the output, what we get, it again feeds your input. For example, if you get a positive output, then what will happen? You will feel more excited, motivated to do again that next time. It's like a reward. Your outputs are your rewards, right? So if you say, example, you're doing something and you get a good result, say in your exams in school, you were studying, right? And then there was a process. Then the process was giving an exam. And then the output was the result. So we got good results. What happens? We felt more motivated to again study better. And again, if you have bad results, then somewhere it can also demotivate you to not put input for the next time. That is where when the output is not right, it creates fears. It creates doubts, right? But always understand you can't change your outputs. You cannot change your process. It's very challenging to change sometimes. Right? Because we don't have control over the process sometimes. Sometimes we don't have control over the output. Right? We don't know how the results will go, but you can always control the inputs. You can always change your inputs. It's very simple. The more you change your inputs, the more you focus on building good inputs in your life, the process will automatically change. The output will automatically change. Successful people are good in improving their inputs. They keep focusing on putting good inputs in their life. So what are those different inputs that we can change in our life? There are 5 inputs that we have. How do we perceive our life? How do we perceive our life? It's very simple. We perceive our life through our 5 senses, right? What our inputs of our life is, how do we perceive life? Is through our 5 senses, right? That is how we get inputs in our life. And because of that, there's a process which is happening within us. And because of that, there's an output. Right? So what are the changes you need to do? The first and the most important thing, the first input that we have is our eyes. Right? Our eyes or a sight. Eyesight, right? We call it as eyes or eyesight. Sight. What you look at is very important. What you look at is very important. A lot of people make this mistake is we keep looking at, especially now in terms of social media, news, we keep watching a lot of negative series, negative videos, negative crime stories or whatever that is, and you keep watching these things where there is blood, killing, whatever that is, and that creates a lot of negative impact on the process that is happening on your subconscious mind and the output. So that's the reason you need to, few things that you need to change in your life. If you want to change your input, it starts with watch positive videos. Make sure you're consciously watching more positive videos, right? Positive, happy videos, positive talks, positive lectures, positive, YouTube videos of somebody sharing good things, like, like this video. Very, very, very important to put a lot of positive, input through your eyes, right? Look at good pictures. Very, very, very important. The best way to improve your input of your eyes is, a very simple example is have a wall on your house where you have some positive memories, your past memories of photos, of collection of photos where you're usually looking at, and that is giving you good memories in your mind, right? So it's creating a positive impact. So a lot of time, we watch a lot of negative, uh, photos or again, videos, it impacts. And then another very simple way of improving the input of your eyes is to have a vision board. Have pictures of your goals, your dreams, your desires that you have on your wall, and make sure you watch them every single day. You want to buy a car, have the picture of that car on your wall. You want to buy a house, have a similar picture of the house that you want to buy and put it on your wall or on your vision board, and keep watching that every day. Create that image in your mind, because again, it's an input, right? The more you put positive inputs of your goals, of your dreams, of your desires, positive things, the more the reprogramming will change and the output will change, right? How many of you felt this tips was very simple yet powerful? Send me the word P in the chat box if you felt that. If it's simple and powerful, right? So first is your eyesight. Eyesight, like make sure you look at positive things and take in positive things through your eyes. Very, very, very simple, very profound and very powerful. Second is our ears, right? We all have ears, right? What does that do? Sound, or we listen. Correct? Sound, or we listen. Again, the biggest mistake that a lot of us we do is, what do you do? A lot of time we put negative inputs in our ears. What are those some of the negative inputs? Can you all tell me in the comments or the chat section? What are those negative inputs? Negative inputs are, what are those? We always end up listening to gossips, complaints. Yes, it can be it can also be political news that we listen to. We listen to a lot of negative. Somebody on the social media is complaining, cribbing, criticizing. You're listening to that, or you're somebody in your family, friends are complaining, gossiping. You're going and listening to them. You're continuously putting negative input in your mind, right? And because of that, your thoughts also is becoming negative. Thoughts also is becoming negative. Even music, even sound, music has a lot of impact. A lot of musics are, like heavy metal, like dark metal and all. It creates a lot of negative impact on your brain. Listening to such kind of sounds, like very dark sounds, heavy metal sounds and stuff. So it's very, very, very important to become aware of the inputs that you have. That is your sound input. What are those sound inputs? Very simple things that you can change is listen to more positive videos, positive podcasts, right? Listen to a lot of chants, prayers, chants, which with whatever religion you belong to, doesn't matter. Every religion has their own chant, have their own, positive chanting and stuff, right? So listen to those very common, very usual, regularly start listening to chants. Listen to your own affirmations. Record your own affirmations in your own voice and start listening to them. That also makes a huge impact. It's a very powerful strategy that way you record your affirmations in your own voice and you start listening to them. Again, you're putting positive inputs in your ears, and then listen to soothing, calm music, right? Sounds of something very flute. And when you listen to flute, I'm sure you experience this. No, you feel very calm, composed, nice. So it's very important to put positive inputs through your ears. The more you put positive inputs through your ears, the more reprogramming happens better. Very, very, very important, right? Next is nose. Your nose, right? The third input that we have is our nose. What do? We smell. We smell, and also we breathe. We smell and we breathe, right? A lot of time, the reason why the process is not going good is what? One of the reasons why process of our body is not going good is we are not breathing properly. Shallow breathing leads to a lot of anxieties, worries, stress, health issues, because the body is not getting enough oxygen. The oxygen is not reaching your mind. the oxygen is not, there is no proper blood flow in your body. That is creating stress in your body, stress in your mind, creating anxieties, panic attacks. It's very important to learn to breathe properly. Nose is very important. One is for your breath. We use our nose for breathing. We use our nose for smell also. Right? So how do we change the inputs? First, do pranayamas. Very, very, very important. Make sure you have breathing practices. Pranayamas is very, very, very powerful. Like this is what we do in our community in the morning routines and stuff in the morning routine magic club. This is what we do. Regular practice of breathing, regular practice of pranayama, because when you change your breathing, you can change your life. Next, have the habit of using some good perfumes. It makes a huge impact, right? Perfume smell, because you can reprogram your mind through smells. For example, say when you're studying, you use a smile. If you're a student, okay? Say when you're studying, you use a perfume and you use that perfume only when you're studying. So what you're doing when you're studying, you reprogram your mind, your mind associates with that smell. And when you're going to the exam, you use the same perfume. What happens? Your mind is associated with the smell and it remembers everything much better. That is how powerful your smell is. A lot of people don't know these hacks, right? You can use this. For example, when you meditate, right? Light an essential oil or agarbatti. And make sure you use the same one. Don't shift it. If you like a smell, stick to that agarbatti. Right? Stick to one agarbatti and make sure you use the same one again and again, or incense sticks. What happens anytime you're stressed? Just light that incense stick. Automatically, you'll feel calm. Because your nose is so powerful. It goes back to the times when you're meditating with that smell or with that fragrance. So it automatically calms your mind, calms your body. Right? How many of you felt this hack was super useful? Send me the word SU in the chat or chat box for super useful. So good perfumes, essential oil, candles, incense sticks can make a huge impact. The more you take positive smell, the more you breathe properly, the more you reprogram your mind, reprogram your body, reprogram your life, reprogram your energy, and the output also changes. The nose is the third. The fourth one is your tongue. What do we use the tongue for? We use it for taste as well as for speech, to talk, right? This is also an input. Our taste, our speech is an input. It is not an output. A lot of people think that speaking is an output. Speaking is not an output. Speaking is an input, right? What you speak is what you become. It's your thoughts at the end, right? So speech is an input. So what are the few things that you can do? A lot of time people talk negatively. We have a lot of bad words, negative words, limiting words, like I can't do it, life is hard, life is difficult, people are bad. We use abusive languages. A lot of people use abusive languages, and that is impacting your subconscious mind, right? The process is also negative. The results is also negative. When you speak negative things, you attract negative things into your life, right? So change your language through positive affirmations. Very, very, very important. Make sure you're aware of your language. Keep talking positive things. Make the habit of chanting, right? I usually wake up in the morning and I chant for at least 5 or 10 minutes. I chant mantras so that, in the morning I'm giving out positive sounds into the universe, and that sounds will come back to you with positive things, positive opportunities. So your language, your sound that is coming out of your mouth is very, very, very powerful. What else do we use our tongue for? Food, right? A lot of time, again, why people are not growing in the life is because the input. The more you put junk food, bad food in your body, the more the process becomes wrong, the energy levels comes down, the output also comes down, the productivity falls down. Very simple. How do you change that? Start eating healthy, be conscious, eat healthy food, eat fresh food, eat a lot of vegetables, a lot of nuts, something that is very natural. Very, very, very important to eat healthy food, right? So become aware of the food that you're taking, and then drink a lot of water, right? The more you hydrate through your tongue, through your mouth, the more you hydrate your body, the input is good, the more you keep hydrated, because 70-75% of our body is water, right? 70 to 75% of our body is water. A lot of time, again, we feel tired, lethargic, lazy because of lack of water in our body. So make sure you drink every day 2 to 3 liters of water and have regular hydrating yourself, putting water in your mouth, in your body, helps you to be active, helps you to be energetic, how it helps you to do your work in a much better manner. So make sure you change the input that you're using to your tongue, that is taste and speech. And the last one is your body, right? The last input that we have is our entire body, that is our touch, right? The sense of touch, the sense of touch. So what can we do to improve the inputs of our body? Give more hugs, right? Make the habit of giving more hugs to your partners, to your family, to your friends, whoever the close one. The more you hug, the more you touch, the more, we feel good. We share that positive energy with each other. Few of the things that you can do to improve your touch, right? Make the habit of walking barefoot on ground once in a while. A lot of time we use shoes, chappals all the time. We're not even touching the ground. We're not even feeling the grass, right? So very, very, very important to have the habit of, if you have a park somewhere every day or in your house, make sure, you go out in the garden or balcony or somewhere and just go for somewhere where there's nice grass. You can walk on the feet, because that really helps you to feel the ground. Very important. And then do a lot of yoga nidra. Feeling grounded, connected to the Mother Earth is very important, because touch, right? Touching good things, touching, best way to, our body feels great when we are connected to the Mother Earth, because the body has come from the earth and goes back to the earth, right? Body has come from the nature. So doing yoga nidra is a very powerful way, where you have a simple mat, you lie down and you feel connected to the ground. You leave your entire weight on the ground and then you feel connected to the earth, right? So these are the ways how you can change your inputs. You make sure you focus on improving these things. You improve your sight, sound, smell, taste, speech, and touch through positive habits, right? Automatically, the process is going to change. The output is going to change, right? Great. So how many of you felt this masterclass was very simple yet very powerful? It is so simple yet very powerful, right? Making changes in a life is very simple. You don't have to do big, big things. Once you understand how life works, it becomes easy to make small changes. So make sure you're aware of the inputs that you're putting through your 5 senses. You change that, automatically your process will change, your output will automatically change. All right? Great. So thank you so much for tuning into today's episode.